Up next, we do have Microbits from Yumi Source. So this is just a quick, she couldn't be with us today, so we were just going to watch a quick video from her, about 7 minutes or so. So we will take a look at that. And just as a reminder, as we're getting going with this Yumi Source video, there is a Q&A. So if you have any questions, thoughts, anything that you thought was particularly cool, something you're proud of sharing, something you're excited you made, just pop it in the Q&A real quick and let me know what you're thinking of the presentation so far. All right, with that being said, let's hear from Yumi.
Welcome to the introduction to Microbits. How did they do that live? With myself, Yumi Soresh, your EdTech liaison. The ISTE standard I'm covering is 1.5 Computational Thinker. Students will develop and employ strategies for understanding and solving problems in ways to leverage the power of technological methods to develop and test solutions. What is a microbit, you ask? It is a pocket-sized programmable computer used to teach computer science. What does a microbit contain? Well, in the front, there are 25 red LED lights. The LED stands for light emitting diodes. It has 25 individually programmable LEDs, allowing you to display text, numbers, and images. In the front as well are 2 buttons. There are 2 buttons on the front labeled A and B. When you press these buttons, it triggers a code on the microbit. There's also a touch sensor on the microbit logo, located here. When you press the logo, it triggers a code on the microbit as well. Lastly, there's a microphone right here next to the logo. There is a built-in microphone. It will trigger a code when you make a sound. On the back of the microbit, you'll see a reset button here, a battery socket, a processor here, and a compass, as well as a accelerometer. And right here are little pins. This is an edge connector for additional accessories. When going into computer science, I like to review the vocabulary. So I like to start off with programming. And programming is basically writing a group of instructions for a computer to process. Debugging, basically finding errors and how to fix them. Sequencing is like following a recipe, a cookie recipe. And we need to make sure we're following the exact instructions. And then lastly, looping, so it is repeated more than once. The second part is on computational thinking. It allows children to learn to solve problems by analyzing and breaking them down in smaller tasks, simultaneously debugging to fix them. So we focus on algorithms and decomposition, basically breaking them down into smaller parts. And lastly, computer systems, learning about both the hardware and the software. Hardware is the computer's physical parts. Software is the program that tells the hardware what to do, which focuses on inputs and outputs. Inputs are data entered into the system, while output processes the information. After I review the vocabulary, I have them watch a video on computer basics inside a computer. Now that we've already talked about the hardware, the microbit itself, now we're going into the software, which is the MakeCode platform. So all you need to do is basically click on the MakeCode link, which I have right here. There are basically 3 steps to code within this platform. We need to connect the blocks and then write the code, connect the microbit with this USB into the Chromebook, and then download the program and upload it to the Chromebook. And I'm going to give you a brief tour of the actual MakeCode platform. So right here, you'll notice it says, see what your code looks like running on a microbit. And you can basically drag out blocks of code from the toolbox category, which is right here. And this is the workspace where you're going to be connecting the blocks. And if you ever wanted to share your project with someone, here is the share link. And lastly, you are going to click down here at the download button to program the microbit. So the project we're going to create first is called the Digital Name Tag Project. But first, go ahead and sign in the top right-hand corner. This prompt will come up and you would need to have your students sign in with Google. Once you have signed in, up here you have the choices by coding by blocks or JavaScript or Python. We're going to stick with blocks. Now, since I want the name to actually loop, I'm going to leave the forever block here in the workspace, but I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop this into the tools to delete it. In order to see your name in lights, come up here to your toolkit and select Basic. Scroll down and see the Show String block. Drag and drop this into your loop block called Forever. And click inside the box and have your student type in their name. And if they want, they can add another block. So come over here to Basics again. And let's see here. I want to use a show icon. So after their name, I like to see a heart or maybe a check mark. And you'll see it right here at the simulator. If you don't see it right away, you can go ahead and click on this refresh button, but it usually takes a few seconds. Now let's go ahead and download this program. So come down here to the purple box that says download, click it once. Now it will ask you to connect your microbit to the computer, so do so now and press next. And we now need to pair the microbit to the Chromebook, so press pair. And go ahead and find the actual microbit. It's right there, so select it, connect. And this happens at times as well, so we just need to try it again. And once it's downloaded, it will basically look just like the simulator. And thank you for your interest in the microbits.
All right, so that was all about microbits, and I believe we have a special announcement. Oh, we can't hear you.
There we go.
There we go.
Hey, not much to add other than we do have microbits if you're interested in using that. If you're inspired by that video, you can reach out to us and we can try to get some to you if you're interested in using them with your students. So that's it. Thanks.
Very cool. Thank you, Brandon. So if you guys didn't catch that, we have microbits that you can check out and use with your class.